Naomi Carter used to believe that blood was stronger than envy. That belief was shaped early, in a house where family photographs smiled louder than the people inside them, where love was shown publicly but rationed privately. She and her sister Evelyn shared a childhood roof in Willow Creek, Illinois, but from the beginning they were raised on different sides of the same truth. Evelyn was adored. Naomi was measured. Their parents never said it outright, but preference lived in the pauses between words, in the way Evelyn's mistakes were called confidence while Naomi were labeled flaws. Evelyn learned how to take up space without asking permission. Naomi learned how to fold herself smaller and wait for approval that rarely came. As girls, Evelyn led and Naomi followed. As teenagers, Evelyn dominated and Naomi endured. Evelyn's beauty drew attention effortlessly, while Naomi's intelligence went unnoticed unless it served comparison. The world rewarded Evelyn's ambition and punished Naomi's sensitivity. Over time, that imbalance hardened into something permanent. Naomi loved her sister anyway. She believed love meant patience. She believed endurance would be noticed. She was wrong. College finally gave Naomi air. She left Willow Creek with a scholarship, a sense of cautious hope, and a quiet determination to become someone beyond her sister's shadow. New York challenged her, broke her open, and rebuilt her slowly. She studied psychology, learned the language of trauma, and finally understood that what she grew up with had a name: favoritism, emotional neglect, silent cruelty. Then she met Daniel Reyes. Daniel saw her fully. He listened without fixing. He loved without competing. With him, Naomi felt safe for the first time in her life. Their relationship grew steadily, rooted in trust and intention. When he proposed, Naomi cried not from surprise but from relief. She believed she had finally earned happiness. Bringing Daniel home was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it became a quiet turning point that Naomi wouldn't understand until it was too late. Evelyn noticed Daniel immediately, not because she wanted him, but because she couldn't tolerate Naomi having something whole that she herself did not control. Evelyn had always been the axis around which the family turned. Naomi's happiness felt like an insult to that balance. What followed was not sudden seduction but strategic erosion. Evelyn planted doubt with care, dressed concern as loyalty, and framed manipulation as protection. She painted Naomi as unstable, too emotional, too fragile for long-term commitment. She spoke softly and often. Daniel listened. Naomi sensed the distance growing but blamed herself. She tried harder, loved deeper, apologized more. By the time she realized the truth, it was already living in her house. The night she walked in and saw Daniel and Evelyn together shattered her world in a way words couldn't repair. Evelyn didn't cry. She didn't beg forgiveness. She smiled with quiet superiority, as if this outcome had always been inevitable. Daniel left. The engagement dissolved. Naomi was blamed. That betrayal didn't just end a relationship. It ended the person Naomi had been. Something hardened inside her, something sharp and patient. She left Willow Creek the next morning and never looked back. Years passed. Naomi rebuilt herself piece by piece. She finished her degree, earned her license, and built a respected career in trauma therapy. She learned power not through dominance but through understanding. She learned how people broke, how they lied, how they justified cruelty. She learned how systems protected the charming and punished the quiet. Evelyn thrived publicly. She married well, built a brand, curated a life that looked flawless from the outside. She spoke at women's conferences about ambition and resilience. She never mentioned the bodies beneath her climb. When Naomi returned to Willow Creek for a professional conference years later, the town barely recognized her. She was calm now, grounded, unapologetic, and invisible again, which was exactly how she wanted it. Revenge did not come quickly. It came with patience. Naomi didn't expose Evelyn directly. She didn't confront her. She let Evelyn underestimate her, dismiss her, forget her. Instead, Naomi placed herself quietly into the spaces Evelyn relied on most: professional networks, private foundations, therapy circles disguised as wellness retreats. People talked to Naomi. They trusted her. They confided in her. Evelyn's assistants spoke of emotional abuse. Former partners spoke of manipulation. Business collaborators spoke of threats, coercion, stolen credit. Naomi listened, documented, and waited. The unraveling began subtly. Invitations stopped arriving. Sponsors hesitated. Rumors spread without source. Evelyn felt the ground shift beneath her feet but couldn't see the hands pushing. When the final exposure came, it wasn't loud. It was surgical. Internal audits, legal inquiries, testimonies from people Evelyn thought she had silenced forever. Her empire collapsed under the weight of her own history. The confrontation happened privately. Evelyn stood across from Naomi, finally seeing her sister clearly for the first time. Not small, not broken, powerful. "You did this," Evelyn whispered. Naomi didn't deny it. "I survived you," she said calmly. "This is just the consequence." Evelyn lost everything she had built on cruelty. Naomi lost nothing she hadn't already mourned. In the end, there was no forgiveness. There was no apology. There was only balance. Naomi walked away without triumph, without regret. Revenge didn't heal her, but justice gave her closure. And for the first time in her life, she lived free of her sister's shadow.